Zog the Heilige Mishnah, we are Baruch Hashem in our Shir, a Gemara Shir, Torah anytime, Gemara Shabbos Shir. We are in Kufla Medalad on the base. The Mishnah, we're going to review the Mishnah we saw yesterday, Bezras Hashem. The Mishnah about washing babies after Mila, before and after Mila, the first, second, and third day after Mila. Are you allowed to wash a baby, give him a bath, give him a little shower? We're going to see the differences when it comes to the baby's health, the baby's hygiene after Mila. What are you allowed to do in terms of Shabbos? This year is Le'ilu Nishmas, my father, Avi Moiri Menachem Ben Akiva, for the quick release of all the hostages, and everybody that needs Yeshua should get Yeshua right now, Bez Hashem. So before we continue the Mishnah, we have to know that there are a few topics, there are a few issues with washing on Shabbos in general. First of all, even if one prepared the water before Shabbos, one is not allowed to take a bath or even a hot shower on Shabbos. Why? Because there's a thing called Gzeras Abalonim in Daf Mem Amud Aleph in the bottom of the page. It says that people unfortunately used to lie and would take a hot shower, hot bath in the hot water, using water that was heated on Shabbos, lo aleinu, and they would lie and say the hot water was heated before. So Chachamim at some point just forbade it point blank, and you can't take a hot shower on Shabbos. I'm not talking about cold showers; it's another issue in halacha. Here we're talking about hot water. Now, another issue, obviously, is are you or aren't you allowed to really heat water on Shabbos for the baby? If the baby is considered to be a choila sheyesh boisakono, and the hot bath is going mamish to save the situation, maybe avoiding an infection or something like that, maybe then you can even wash the baby on Shabbos while heating the water on Shabbos itself. That's another question looming here in the background. All I'm doing now is just preparing us for the general questions. Let's see now what the Mishnah says. One is allowed to wash the baby the day of the Mila. If the Mila fell on Shabbos, the baby is supposed to have bris Mila done on Shabbos itself. You have to wash him before and after the Mila. Before the Mila, says the Tiferet soil to be mechazikim, maybe to give chizuk to the immune system, avoid any infections. And lachar Mila is for refuah. He's been through the Mila, he has a wound, and you have to wash him. Mezalfin olav bayad, avaloi bekli. The Mishnah continues, and all of a sudden the Mishnah says, we're not talking about a real full bath, whole body bath. All you're allowed to do is mezalfin, sprinkle on the baby with a hand, but not with any vessel, not with a cup or any, I don't know, shower or something. That's what the Nakama says. Rabbi Ezra Azariah says, Marchitzin asakoton beyoyim ashlishi shechanios b'Shabbos. Says Rabbi Ezra Azariah. Up until now, Chachomim, by the way, spoke about the first day. Before and after Mila, bepashtus means, unless known otherwise, on the day of the Mila. How long after can he do that? Maybe just the first day. Comes Rabbi Ezra ben Azariah and he's telling us two things. You're allowed to do proper rechitza, proper bath, meaning there's no issue of the Isser D'Rabbanan of bathing a person. You're allowed to bathe the baby on Shabbos, even if the Shabbos falls on the third day. Up until the third day, the baby is still considered to be a choyle, and you're allowed to be over at least the Rabbanon, maybe also the Oraisa. We're going to see that later, because up until the third day, there is still a situation of the baby being a choyle. Why is that? Because it says in the Pasuk Shenema, it says about the children, Shimon and Levi, that attacked the people of Shechem. It says on the third day of the Milah, when they were in pain, so then Shimon and Levi came. So you see, the third day is still painful. Some Rishonim learned that the third day is worse than the second day. We're not going to follow the Shita because we're just going to learn this with Rashi. And Rashi learns it's the first, second, and third. Now, Sofik Vandoginus, let's say there's a baby whom we're not sure was born in the 8th month of the pregnancy, which means that he's not going to live. No incubators mean that the premature baby of the 8th month is going to die. Maybe he was born in the 9th month. Now he looks like he's alive, but maybe he's going to die for sure because maybe he was born by the 8th month. We didn't count the month well enough, so we don't know whether this baby will live or die. is very likely, yes, to die more than other babies, or maybe not. So therefore, we don't do bris milah on Shabbos because you don't risk Shabbos just for a suffix milah. If it's a vadai milah, of course we break Shabbos. We've established that. But a maybe required milah does not push away Shabbos. The androgynous, a baby that has both male and female organs, so he's both, and mechal and all of it's a Shabbos. You don't break Shabbos. You are supposed to do bris milah for a baby that's both a boy and a girl, because the Maisi is also a boy. But on Shabbos, you don't do that. Androgynous, we're going to learn from droshes later on. There's a drosha that tells us that androgynous does not justify his milah, does not justify chilul Shabbos. Rabbi Yehuda matir bandrogynous. Rabbi Yehuda allows you to do bris milah androgynous. What? There's a question coming. Excuse me.
He waits till
Yes, 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 yes. We don't say never to do Milah to androgynous. According to Tanakama, you're just supposed to postpone the Milah. Don't do it on the eighth day. If that fell on Shabbos, do it on Sunday. No, everyone's on holiday. Anyways, but very convenient. Fragt the Gemara. The Gemara has a question. V'amart Reisha Marchitzin. Question is as follows. Reisha Marchitzin, you are telling me in the Reisha of the Mishnah said, the beginning of the Mishnah said, Marchitzin, which means what? One is supposed to, allowed to, wash the baby. Washing means washing, baby bath, bathtub, the baby inside, nice, bubbly shampoo. You don't have to have the rubber ducky, but, there's a proper bath. And then later on, the Mishnah all of a sudden says mezalfin, which does mean a proper bath, just sprinkling, which means are we or are we not pushing away the gzer derabanan of washing? Yes or no? Rav Yehuda, now we're going to see a big machlokes between Rav Yehuda and Rabba bar Avua. We will have a chart over here also, Rav Yehuda and Rabba bar Avua. Rav Yehuda and Rabba bar Avua, they say the following. Damit Ravayu, they both explain the Mishnah to be saying as follows. Ketzad Tani. Ketzad Tani, which means the Mishnah's second part is explaining the first part. Marchitzin asakoton ben lifnei mila ben la'achar mila. One is allowed to wash the baby before and after the mila on the first day. Ketzad, how is that? Which way around? What's the form? What's the fashion you're allowed to wash the baby? Not a full bath like you thought. The only thing you're allowed to do, according to them, is sprinkle with a hand, but not with a kli. Okay, that's all. So it's really very simple. So let's try and understand. According to them, Tanakama is extremely limiting. Only mezalfin, sprinkling, not a full bath, because who says you can be over the holy Seder? And secondly, only on the first day. They are not referring to third or any other day. Now comes the Blazer ben Azariah and says, no, he's arguing on 2 points. You're allowed to do full bath, because he definitely said marchitzin, and Blazer ben Azariah said not only the first day, all 3 days. So let's see over here. You look in the chart. Yeah, according to Tanakama, first and second day. Yeah, according to you can only do mezalfin, right? By the way, the second day you can also do ziluf. There we're going to get to later. We're going to explain why later. The third day you can't do anything. But Bezer ben Azar, you can wash completely for all 3 days, right? What I said about the second day is debatable, but the first day you're allowed to do ziluf, and possibly the second day too. Third day, no. According to Bezer ben Azar, you're allowed to wash him all the time, all 3 days. Now, that is the opinion of Yudah and Rabba Bavua. Now, Omar Rove is coming to argue on those Amoraim, on Rav Yehuda and Rabba Bavua, and says Rove, Marchitzin Tani. I'm sorry, my friends, Marchitzin. It says in the Mishnah to wash. Washing means washing, not sprinkling with your hand. If I'm telling you I'm taking a shower, I'm not sprinkling with my hands. Ela Omar Rove. Therefore, Rove is arguing on Rav Yehuda and Rabba Bavua. And he explains the Mishnah differently. Hachiktani. This is what the Mishnah says. Marchitzin esakoton ben milifnei mila ben achar mila. You're allowed to wash the baby before and after the mila. B'yom harishon kedalkoi. On the first day, you can wash him properly. And that's what we said rachitza. The first day, there's the real sakona. Therefore, the first day, wash him properly. וביום השלישי שיכול להיות בשבס, מזלפן לו ביד, אבל לא בכלי. On the third day that fell on Shabbos, at that point you already lower the standards. The baby is not in such a bad situation to require a whole bath and justify a whole bath. All you can do is mezalfin, just sprinkle the water with the hands, but not bekli. So Tanakama is more lenient according to Rove. And the first day you can do full bath. That's according to Rove. אבל זמן עזריה אומר, מרחיצין הסקוטן ביום השלישי שחל להיות בשבס. Bezman Azar says, no, just like you, Chachomim, allow to do a full bath first day, so too I allow to do that on the third day too. Is that extending what they say? You people agree to me on the first day and possibly on the second day. We'll see later. I'm telling you, this also is extended one day later, one more day to the third day. How do you know? The pasuk. Let's check the chart. So according to Tanakama, first and second day. Again, Rashi, we're following Rashi here. Rashi likes all the time to compare the first and second day. Yeah, I sent you the chart by email. Yeah. First and second day, Marchitz and Kedalkoi. Third day, only with the sprinkling. Abdez Azariah says one tiny thing. What you people are telling me about the first and second day, I extend it one more day to the third day because of the pasuk. Okay, Beseder. Okay, sorry about that. Okay. Tana Kavos Derove. We're going to go back to this machlokes later. Excuse me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu. Tana Kavos Derove. A Bryce is first wide line. Kufla Medalid Amud Beis. First wide line. Tana Kavos Derove. Marchitz in a cotton ben lifnei mila. Ben la'achar mila. Bayom Rishon Kedalkoi. Opa. Clearly Lakrova. Says Rova to explain to Nakama. First day, that's real business. He's really in need for a proper bath. It definitely justifies breaking at least the derabanan of taking a bath. Have a proper bath before and after the first day of the Milah, no problem. And so too by the second day, according to Rashi. Third day, then we already lower the standards, and if the baby needs a bath, it does not justify a bath. It's not so bad for him. The third day is not as hard, and therefore what? And therefore, what you're allowed to do on the third day, you just lower the level. You can't take the full bath. Just sprinkle with your hand. It's Tanakama, exactly like what Rova said. בזמן Azariah אומר, מרחיצין הסקוטן ביום השלישי שחל להיות בשבס. Bezman Azar says, no, you're allowed to wash the baby on the third day. It fell on Shabbos. Even though, says Abelezer, the pasuk I'm about to quote for you is not a foolproof raya, it's a zecher ladover. It's some kind of zecher. There is, some kind of allusion, a hint. Why? As we see in the pasuk about the brothers of Dinah that were jealous for her honor, and they killed everyone on the third day. So you see on the third day, that's very bad state to be. Yeah, it's very painful still on the third day, and therefore we treat the baby also. We pamper the baby on the expense of even giving him bath on Shabbos, which is otherwise also. That's even allowed on the third day, says Rabbi Azariah. Continues the Brisa, back to Chachomim, Ukshen Mizalfin. According to Chachomim, what are you allowed to do on the third day? You lower the standard, and all you can do is just sprinkle. When you sprinkle, en Mizalfin lo bekos v'lo bekioro v'lo bekli. You can't sprinkle. You can't like pour on the baby, dribs and drabs from the cup or the bowl or any other dish, which makes sense, by the way. As I'm talking, I'm thinking, in the olden days, they didn't have showers. How would they shower? The Gemara says, they're looking around Daf Mem, they would take a cup, a big cup, right, sefel or beis merchatz, and would take from the water and pour over their heads. So when you do that, it looks like normal rechitza. If you really want to make sure you're not over at least the derabanan of washing on Shabbos, just sprinkle with your hand, not with a kli. Asan l'Tanakama. As I told you, this statement is only there for Tanakama, because according to Rabbi Lezer ben Azariah, All 3 days, you're allowed to take full shower, and full bath, even. Continues the Gemara to ask about the Brisa. Why are you telling me Rabbi Eliezer ben Azariah's big source? Rabbi Eliezer ben Azariah's, moment of stardom, or a big source is what from the story of, Shimon and Levi and Anshe Shechem. Why are you telling me that it's not a full proof? It says B'yosem Koyevim. They were so much in pain. Two boys, 13 years old. Two 13 years old killed an entire town of Shechem people. I wish. Okay, I was going to say something about today, but I'm not because I'm on the internet. Yeah, so whatever. Yeah, I wish. Bekitzer, yeah, you understand what I mean. So Bekitzer, 13 years old, they killed an entire town, right? And you're telling me that doesn't bring me a full proof, clear proof that a person on the third day is, definitely needs help and needs any help needed, definitely a hot bath or anything to clear the infection, to ease the pain. So the Gemara, no, not necessarily. There's a difference between adults and babies. Mishum de godol loy salik bisra haya. Koton salik bebisra haya. Haya means quickly. A godol, his boso, his flesh exactly does not heal quickly, right? An adult takes longer to heal. A baby is less, a baby, heals quicker, and therefore it's not the same. Could be, you could argue with me, says Abelaz ben Azariah, and tell me, maybe it's not exactly the same. In other words, those people on the third day, they were kvetching and ouching and ouching and ouching because they were adults. It took them longer to heal. A baby, is more resilient, takes it quicker to heal. And therefore, maybe by the baby, would say that by the third day he's already all good and you're not supposed to take a shower. Nevertheless, says Abelaz ben Azariah, I hear you. It's still a remiz. It's still enough of a zecher ladovo. That pasuk is enough of a general concept that can follow that conceptually on the third day things are still problematic enough to require a full bath. Continues the Gemara, and soon I will show you the chart. Online. Story time about Rove. Maybe we should summarize now. No, before we continue, let's summarize. So now I'm showing the chart. Whoever can see. According to Rav Yehuda bar Abba Ravua, what are we saying? According to Tanakama, on the first days you can only sprinkle with your hand. On the third day, forget it. Nothing is allowed. Right? Rabbi Eliezer ben Azariah is arguing two accounts. He says you're allowed to wash full bath for all 3 days. It's very extreme achloikis. And Tanakama is much more machmir. According to Rove says no. Tanakama and Rabbi Eliezer ben Azariah both agree for the first 2 days you're allowed to wash normally. Yeah. On the third day, then comes the machloikis. On the third day, says Tanakama, I don't buy your source from the people of Shechem. Nothing to do with that. So mezalfin bayad, you can just sprinkle, no more than that. Rabbi Azariah says, no, I follow the story of Shechem, and I say that the third day is the same as the first two, and you're allowed to wash the baby normally. Okay? And by the way, I just want to tell people that we're not yet talking about the Oraisa. I'm being very careful with my words on purpose. And I keep saying at least the Rabbanon, meaning the issue right now, are you allowed to give a bath or not? Because sometimes you can't take a bath on Shabbos for no reason, right? And that's exactly the question. Are you allowed to break the Oraisa? That will be another question. That's coming up later. Okay? So thank you for your patience. Now, story time. A person came to Rove and asking him the question about washing the baby after bris milah. Rove basically gave him halacha lemaisa psak based on his own sugya, his own understanding, meaning that he allowed him that even if we follow Rabbanon, let's say we follow Rabbanon, and we do, let's say, he allowed him to give the baby the full bath, okay, right? Which is only Rava. To give him the full bath, yeah, which according to the other Amoraim, Rabba and Rav Yehuda Rabba bar Ravua is not allowed, only sprinkling. Okay, so Rava really went all out, and he allowed him to give the bath to the baby properly, like Rava's own understanding of the sugya. Listen to the words. Gave him hoiro, gave him psak halacha based on his understanding of the sugya. Ichlosh Rava, Later on, I guess pretty soon later, Rava got sick. Rava got sick, yeah, choile. Now he was worried. He said, why did Hashem make me sick? He did cheshbon nefesh. Omar, and Rava said about himself, I'm kind of regretting my psak. I know, me. Ba'adi tagim desavi lamali. Why should I argue on those older people? Yeah, Rav Yuda was older than Rava. Rav Yuda was the previous generation, yeah? So Rav Yuda why should I argue with them? Maybe really I shouldn't argue with them, and I should be machmir and only allow the sprinkling like Chachamim, and should not allow bathing, which was what I thought Chachamim say. Rabbanu tried to support Rava against himself. V'atani kavase dema. Why, Rava? Why are you regretting arguing and being more makel than Rav Yud and Abba Baravua? The Brisa supports you. We just read this whole Brisa now. The Brisa supports you against the elderly Amoraim. Omar lehu mesnizin kavastayu daika. Maybe the Brisa supports me, but the Mishnah reads better according to them. Why? Mimai. How do you know? What did the Mishnah say? The Mishnah said that, excuse me, Rabbi Eliezer ben Azariah says, Machitzin esakotan bayom shlishi shchalios b'Shabbos. Yeah? Rabbi Eliezer ben Azariah says, one's allowed to wash the baby on the third day. Right? Okay. Now, so what did I say in the Mishnah? What's the simple reading of the Mishnah? Two big bombs over here. Full washing and the third day. Right? Oh. If if Tanakama meant that the only thing you're allowed to do is sprinkle on the first 2 days, right? Okay, and nothing more than that, and which is what my colleagues are saying. Yeah, Rob is now supporting what his opponents are saying. Yeah, Rabba. If so, Hainu to come Machitzin. Comes with a whole novel idea. Not only sprinkling is okay, even full rechitza is also okay. Wow, that's a new idea. But if Rav is talking against himself, he's coming to say how the Mishnah is less meduyak according to him. If Tanakama said, like I thought, that the first and second day give a full bath, and the third day you lower it to just sprinkling, and so what's Rabbi Eliezer ben Azariah saying? He's saying, I'm saying just like you people, just I'm extending it one more day. You know what should be the loss of Rabbi Eliezer ben Azariah? Hi, Rabbi Eliezer ben Azariah, Omer Machitzin, Af Machitzin Mibailei. Rabbi Eliezer ben Azariah shouldn't say Machitzin, should say also Machitzin, which means all he's saying is what? Adding one more day, that's all. Chachamim said you can do full bath, rubber ducky, shampoo, Johnson and Johnson, Dr. Fisher, do the. I'm joking. I don't mean Mamash and Shabbos. I don't know. Yeah, I'm saying do the whole business right, first and second day. Stop on the third day. So they're only arguing on one day. So Blazer ben Azar should have said also marchitzin, also the third day. That's all. He should have said what you guys are saying second, first and second. I'm saying about the third. That's all. And he didn't. And therefore, I am at the end of the day. I did argue with them, and true, I have the Bryce on my side. But after I passed him like my own Havana, and Hashem sent me that machla, I realized that Hashem is hinting to me that really I should follow the other Amoraim, not argue with them, right? And as later we'll see, really they are the correct, they are the ones which we pass by. And really, according to Chachamim, the only thing you're allowed to do is mezalfin on the first and second day. He also of dimi. Yeah.
And on the third day?
What?
And on the third day,
On the third day, according to the first opinion, which is Rabbah and Rav Yehuda Rabbah Baravua, on the third day. No, you tell me. The third day, according to Tanakama, nothing, and according to Rabbi Eliezer ben Azariah, full bath. Huge difference. Yeah. Okay. Mia mama. The first. No, that we didn't say. No, no, no. Oh, no, no, no. That was the first opinion. Machitzin Mazlifin only Tanakama. Rabbi Eliezer ben Azariah clearly didn't say that. That's for sure. No. So what does he have to say? Machitzin Asakot Ve'emashlishi. Ah, ah. It's making it even worse. I'll tell you why. Because I hear your question, but even the Tanakama is very wishy-washy when it comes to the marchitzin, which means mezalfin. It's kilu bedoichak, and Rabbi didn't like it. Rava. And now Bezman Azar says marchitzin. Mistom it only marchitzin. I hear you. I hear. Maybe it's going in the same derech. I hear though. I hear the shiloh. Maybe one of the Achronim asks it. I don't know, but that's not what the Gemara the Rishonim say. Weiter. I hear the Taina. Okay. Kiyosa of Dimi. When Rav Dimi came from, Mhm. Rav eventually agreed to be more machmir like the other ones. Yes, true. Kiyosa Rav Dimi. When Rav Dimi came from Eretz Yisrael to Bovel, Omar, he said, Omar Rabbi Elazar, Halacha Kebezer ben Azariah. He quoted Rabbi Elazar as saying, Halacha Kebezer ben Azariah, which means, so the Machlokes is Lechor not so relevant. Halacha is Kebezer ben Azariah, which means what? Lekula. You're allowed to wash the baby all 3 days full. No, nobody argued on that. Yeah, you're allowed to do the washing. What kind of washing? Full washing, and with a whole bath. I want to tell you something else, Akiva. I think there's another reason, Akiva, my neighbor, because he's the one bringing the pasuk and not them. If he brings the pasuk, you want to say brings the pasuk only for the third day, Kilu, not for anything else, right? Okay, I hear. We'll leave it to that. Okay. There was a question in Eretz Yisrael. Oh, here comes a whole new question. Al-Chotz is called Gufay or Al-Chotzas Mila. Up until now, when we understood the question between Al-Chotzo and sprinkling was the entire body. Are you allowed to give him a full bath, right? Or maybe just sprinkle when you need to sprinkle. Now comes a new question. Maybe when we say washing, we meant washing the whole body, or maybe washing meant washing just the bris milah. Give a good bath or a good shower just for the wounded area. Nowhere else. That's another question here. Yeah, it's not mezalfin. Mezalfin is much less. You're just sprinkling some water on the aver. Now comes the question. Even when we said rechitza, did you mean a full bath? Head to toe. Yeah, head and shoulders, head to toe, or do you mean just the mila? Okay, that's a question. Omalahu merabonon. The Rabbi Yaakov Shmei, one of the Rabbonim by the name of Rabbi Yaakov said, Mistabra makes sense. Achotz is called gufay. Mistabra, the rechitza that we allow here is rechitza of the entire body. Why? This kadata achotz mila. If the whole big shebang here, the whole big halabaloo about washing, not washing, we're dealing with it the whole time. If your whole issue is that those who allow rechitza, let's say Bezer ben Azariah, yeah? Or Chachomim, according to Rava, the first days, those who allow Rechitza, what's the big heter and the whole story and psukim and stories about washing one aver, one part of the body? Again, let's stop for a second. Let's pause right there. Washing the whole body is osir on Shabbos, right? Are you allowed to wash one part of your body on Shabbos that's, let's say, dirty, your hands? I think even the Frumas Briskas and Chazonishniks from the depths of Bnei Brak, they wash their hands on Shabbos, right? Yeah. Oh, you lived in Bnei Brak, tzaddik. I lived in Tel Aviv. What can I do? I'm not in the Darga. Yeah. So now what? So to wash your hands is allowed. Washing parts of the body is allowed. You're dirty. Shechvazera. You're allowed. Yeah. Ah. So when you talk about one aver, what's the story? What could be the story of washing a wounded area, my friends, on Shabbos? It comes a third issue, refuah. Hmm. Let's say you have a body part that's wounded, but not sakana, and you're not lying in bed. Yeah, I'm asking a question. Everybody knows you're not allowed to treat a wound, even if there's no chilul Shabbos. You're not allowed to apply medication on Shabbos, right? Medication is usher. So maybe you want to tell me, be smart and say, you know what? There's a whole big issue of washing just the aver. The aver is the choile. It's been through Mila, right? And now maybe washing just the aver with hot water, especially, maybe that's refuah. Maybe that's the reason it's not allowed. And here in Mechadish, it is allowed, yeah? Otherwise, it wouldn't be allowed. Hey, here, because of the baby, we do allow it. That's not a chiddush. That's not true. It's not a special kula for a baby, and you need the psukim from wherever. Migo mechamel al gabi maka? No, it's not different than regular hot water that are allowed to be applied on a wound, and there's no problem of refuah over there. The Omar Rav says Rav, Ein moinin chamin v'shemen mal gabi maka b'Shabbos. Explains the Gemara as follows: not only hot water is okay. Let's see when a mixed hot water not steaming hot, no problem. Bishul. Yet let's say you have hot water and oil, and says Toisves and other Rishonim, Tosafos and others that checked it. Let's say you want to mix them. You want to mix oil and hot water. That's strange. You don't do that just for cosmetic reasons, right? You only do it for refuah, and yet it's allowed. Rav said that to wash your wound with hot water, even if it's mixed with oil, is not called a strange thing done dafka for refuah. I'm sorry, I'm talking, you're assuming you remember, Shemona Shotzim, remember, to do something that looks normal, doesn't look medicinal, is allowed on Shabbos. The doctor told you have to eat a lot of carrots. You have an issue with your health, carrots. Eat carrots all Shabbos long. Lechamishna, carrot, carrot, carrot. That's allowed. I am doing it for health reasons. So what? Carrot is Michael Breen. Normal, healthy people also eat carrots. They like it, right? Oh, here too. When you wash the wounded area with hot water, it's not called, I'm doing something pharmaceutical, something medicinal. It's called normal behavior. I'm hygienic, I'm normal, even if it's mixed with oil. If so, with the baby, of course that the chiddush of the Mishnah is to do the full body bath. Because to just wash the aver that's wounded, that's allowed. To take a bath, it's called a bath, one aver, you're nuts. And mitzad refuah, it's not called special refuah, just washing. So obviously, if we're makel in a full bath to allow us to be over this. So the rabbanon of taking a bath. Maskif la Baruch Hashem, Baruch Hashem. Oh, Hashem was early. Maskif la Rav Yosef. Rav Yosef is attacking what we just said. Now comes the big bomb. Ooh, it's time. The moment of truth has arrived. We were scared of that all the time. Up until now, with the Rabbanon realm. Now, as President Trump said, what is it? All hell will break loose. Here it comes. Yeah, now comes an Issa Doraisa. ולא ישנה לך בין חמין שוכמו בשבס. Why? לחמין שוכמו מערב Shabbos? Meaning, you're telling me that to wash the one aver is not a chiddush? Aha, it's a chiddush. Because maybe in our Mishnah, or we assume in our Mishnah, we're allowed to even use water that was heated on Shabbos. On Shabbos means what? Says the Rashba, was heated by a goy, and you allowed him, or you asked the goy to do it, or you did it yourself on Shabbos, you heated the water, which is, the zikr, otherwise terrible isur chorus. Here it's allowed. Why? For Esa? Oh, because we assume it's we'll get there soon. Very, very good. Very good. In other words, you're telling me to wash the baby's a body with warm water is not a chiddush. Of course, it's not a chiddush if the water was heated before. Water heated on Shabbos, the chiddush it is. And maybe that's what you're coming to say. Even one aver to wash with water that is heated on Shabbos is allowed. Maskif la'avdimi umimai. How do you know? Umimai doche b'chamin shuchma b'Shabbos pligi. How do you know that the argument is about chamin shuchma b'Shabbos and those who do allow it, Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, allow it on Shabbos, dilma b'chamin shuchma b'Me'er Shabbos pligi. No. Maybe the whole discussion is chamin from Erev Shabbos. Maybe you're not allowed to be b'chalo Shabbos only over the Rabbanon, right? And therefore, there's no Yisod Rabbanon the Aver, and the discussion is the whole body. Amar Abaye, here comes the final story, as Akiva just said, Akiva you. Amar Abaye, Ano Abaye Dishnile. I wanted, I did the tip of my tongue to answer that question, because of Vishanan of Yosef. Rav Yosef, my rabbi, he answered it before me. Mipnei shesakona uloi, boom, boom, boom. Let's summarize. A baby up until either second or third day, depends who you ask, is in a situation of sakona, and maybe infection, and the sakona is something that clearly justifies Chilul Shabbos. It's not even called Chilul Shabbos, it's a mitzvah, right? V'chai b'hem. And therefore, because it's a sakona for the baby, you're allowed to wash the baby, potentially only one aver. Why? We still don't know. Could be the chiddush is wash the aver which is wounded with hot water to disinfect it on Shabbos, even heat the water on Shabbos, because it's a sakana. Which day? Depends who you ask. But could be just one aver, or maybe you also allow the whole bath, because you also allow the Issa Rabbanon of the entire bath, besides that. Now, what's the maskana? Itmar nami, ki osa rabbi omer Rabbi Abba omer Rabbi Elazar, v'amr omer Rabbi Abba omer Rabbi Yochanan. Final verdict. Halacha Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, which allows what? It allows you to do full bath, right? All 3 days. Then b'chamin shuchmo b'Shabbos, even if the chamin was heated on Shabbos. By the way, I just want to clarify. It doesn't say go ahead and heat the water on Shabbos. Ideally, if you can, you have to have hot water prepared from before Shabbos and keep it on the blech, keep it somehow hot, yeah, warm. Obviously, you're not looking to Bechal Shabbos Chas v'shalom. If the water was heated on Shabbos, you're allowed to use it. Yeah, ben b'chamid shuchma be'erev Shabbos, all the more so. Ben achotzas kol gufoy, ben achotzas mila. You can either wash the entire body because, well, if you're allowed the horaisa, you might as well allow the drabanon of the whole body. Ben achotzas mila. If you feel like just the mila, go ahead. Be over the doraisa of what heating on Shabbos and doing the achotzas mila. Because the baby is considered to be in sakona. So then I'd like to say the final psak, and then you open Shulchan Aruch, and you feel that your world has turned around. Why? Look at the Shulchan Aruch. Shulchan Aruch says, Divrei Atzmoi. Unbelievable. Shulchan Aruch is here original. It says in the side there in the Beragoylo, Shulchan Aruch's own idea. He says, Nishtanu Atvoim. Nishtanu Atvoim is a toises in Avodah Zarah Daf Kaf Gimel Amud Beis. I think, or Chaf Gimel, I think Amud Beis. Or Chaf Beis Amud Beis, around there, in Avodah Zarah. Says the Shulchan Aruch, Nishtanu Atvoim, the nature has changed, and the baby doesn't have to have a bath or a shower dafka in the first, second, third day. Yeah, today they put some ointment, whatever they do. You don't have to have a hot bath, and therefore it's not able to heat the water in Shabbos for the baby. And a chinami, if you get, I think Mishnah Berurah says, I didn't look at the Mishnah Berurah so much, but like if you see doctor's advice, you see that something that does happen which requires hot water, then you may allow to do it. But it's not like a carte blanche can always, wash the baby with hot water today because today it's different. So that's halacha. Beseder. I would stop here. I would stop here a little bit early. Tomorrow, Emir Hashem, thank you very, very much for all of you for coming. Thank you to everybody on Torah Anytime that are with us. They also have a campaign, so please donate to Torah Anytime. We all enjoy Torah Anytime and benefit from it a lot. Tomorrow, the should be sure as usual. Emir Hashem, as far as I'm concerned. Is anybody else going to be here? You? Tomorrow? Normal? Yeah. I mean, if something you do, I'll do it lunchtime. If you're a bit late, it's fine, but.
Yeah, but I'm planning on being here. I'm thinking so.
Yeah. Great. Okay. Thank you very much. Atzlacha v'bracha to everybody at home, everybody here. May all Klal Yisrael get Yeshua soon, and may we see Mashiach b'schus mitzvah smila.